I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I guess by the time I upload this video, it will be afternoon. But it's still May 11th. Still that. Man, I've been up since, I don't know, like 2:45 or something like that. I'm starting to get that weird haze from sleep deprivation, but I digress. As you can see, I'm here at activistpost.com, why America is the greatest country. I know. This one comes from Chris Canton, or Cantan, maybe, Cannon, something like that. It's right there. It's right here. You see? Right there. Alright. So, the first paragraph, he talks about how it's undisputable that the United States is the greatest country in the history of the world, and there's no doubt about that, and how silly it is to be writing an article about such an indisputable fact. We are the sole superpower with the biggest economy, the most desired currency, and the mightiest military. If you're reading this, you can thank the American innovation called the Internet. Throughout the world, people listen to American music, watch American TV, movies, and pay a premium for American brands, from clothing to electronics to food, and dream of immigrating to America. That's called soft power. And of course, America is not a paradise where everything is perfect, so let's address the concerns of the nitpicking naysayers. Second paragraph, they talk about how, as they ask, is everyone in America wealthy? But the fact of the matter, the majority of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. Millions of people don't earn enough money to pay for their own food and health care. Young people are becoming debt serfs due to extremely high student loan debt. People close to retirement don't have any savings. And the top 1% have as much wealth as the bottom 90. Jeff Bezos made over $100 million a day in 2017, while Amazon warehouse employees work like slaves who built the pyramids. Now, I know people have worked at Amazon, and yes, they treat you like a fucking slave. And the fact of the matter is, they have over 40,000 robots working for them, and I dare say that soon it will be totally robot controlled, with a couple of humans there in case of malfunction. Would you date this Asian woman? Maybe. Our government has also ever-increasing debt that will never, ever be paid off. It's mathematically impossible at this point to do so. And we have to ask, how will it end? How will it end? Will we default or impose severe austerity or use inflation to get rid of the debt? If interest rates go up in the near future, will the stock and the housing bubble burst again? Some people say that the Federal Reserve Bank has ruined the free market, and it has. And it is a Ponzi scheme system, and it is destined to collapse. And as a nation, the people get sicker by the day. And it is a puzzle. I don't know why 70% of us are now obese or overweight. And you know what? And people see how skinny I am, which I'm actually the perfect size for my height. I'm 5'6", and I range from 120 to 160, depending on how much I eat. So I'm just the right size for my height. But there are a lot of seriously overweight people out there, and those people, can you imagine how bad they're going to smell when shit hits the fan and their fucking big bloated rotting carcass is stinking up the air? And there's a lot of fucking people, a lot of fat people. Man, fucking cities are going to stink. They're going to stink so bad. You're going to have to wear garlic cloves next to your nose or something. Okay. But it wasn't like that at all 30 or 40 years ago. Perhaps there is an abundance of awesome food made from the great technology such as GMO and World War II chemical weapons that were turned into pesticides. Regardless of the root cause, isn't it wonderful that we have had numerous solutions for the weight problem? You know, stay away from fat. No, it's the sugar. No, really, it's the carb. Or just go to the gym. Finally, we have settled on the greatest solution. Accept yourself. You're beautiful, regardless of what a fat, disgusting, stinking pig you are. And if you have the right attitude, God damn it, facts don't fucking matter. So, chronic illnesses are through the roof. Over the last few decades, autism, asthma, arthritis, allergies, cancer, diabetes, immune disorders, and so on. They have all skyrocketed in recent decades. It's a little strange that the greatest scientists really can't figure out why. And nobody ever finds cures for these disorders. All we can do is control the symptoms. Be on medications forever and trust science and medicine. And if you live in the greatest country, how can you not believe that Big Pharma is working to make your world fucking better? And if you're worried about skyrocketing healthcare expenses, get a good job. And don't be like those 75 million Americans on Medicaid or those other tens of millions with no health care coverage at all. There's no excuse in the greatest country. When you're rejoicing of the glories of the greatest country, always take a time to thank our military-industrial complex. We have spent $20 trillion on military and war since the end of the Cold War in 1991. What a coincidence that spending matches our national debt. Anyhow, we wouldn't be the greatest country if we are not constantly eliminating monsters all over the world. Trust me, we only get rid of Hitlers. Go back and look at all the past media coverage. Everyone was a Hitler. And they all had WMDs and were planning to take over the world. That's why, when we killed 500,000 Iraqi children, Madeleine Albright rightly pointed out it was worth it.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And, you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
And sometimes we drop 25,000 bombs and missiles in 1 year on ultra-poor people in Sudan, Yemen, Somalia. Thankfully, we never get to see the pictures of dead children. That would ruin the patriotic feeling. And by the way, after the Vietnam War, the American people, no longer get to see those war pictures of those dead children because, man, it interfered with their ability to make war. Spreading peace and freedom isn't easy. Sometimes we arm and fund maniacal terrorists when they assist us in regime change operations like in Afghanistan, Chechnya, Yugoslavia, Libya, Syria, and so on. But I'm happy we eventually kill those terrorists. A happy ending makes everything okay. The key to realizing the greatness of America is to get information from the mainstream media and then carefully repeat the opinions of the wise pundits. You don't think that the greatest nation would have liars and propagandists on TV, do you? When the same opinion is voiced by hundreds of experts in all prestigious newspapers, magazines, and social media, you know that you don't have to think. We get pre-packaged truth with easy-to-remember talking points. Trust and faith. They are another key to happiness. If you find yourself worrying about various issues, you're not using all the wonderful tools that the greatest country provides you. Sports, entertainment, social media, movies, TV shows, alcohol, drugs, sex, pornography, consumerism. I just know that everything is okay because I live in the greatest country, and America is the greatest country because everything is okay. Remember, kill the state, and before the state kills you.